How you doing, folks? How am I looking? Am I looking alright? We're here in Brunaville today, just outside Tralee. If I put down the camera, you'll see Brunaville Windmill is there in the background. And you can see we're on the train tracks. And before we talk about the Tralee to Dingle Railway, thanks to Mark, Rep Farms. Mark, I got this camper from Mark. I got a beautiful little model John Deere tractor. Fabulous. Mark, thank you. I had the pleasure of meeting him. Check out Mark. He's on YouTube as well. Look, there it is. Rep Farms. I was watching one of his videos last night, and he had a big, we call it a litter of piglets. And yeah, we go from there. Thanks, Mark. And wearing it. I suppose we're here today outside Tralee, just in Brunaville. I suppose something that I'm very passionate about and have been with a long time is the Tralee Dingle Railway. Now, the railway ran from in and around the 1880s up until the 1960s. The 31-mile distance from Tralee to Dingle. It was a light gauge, narrow gauge railway. It ran from, I'm trying to watch the sleepers here and we fall. It was a light gauge railway. It ran from, if you know where Tralee train station is, or Tralee bus station, from there, most of the way to Dingle. Actually went down out onto Dingle Harbour at one stage. It ran along, there was goods trains, there was kind of everything else in it. There was goods. It finished up in the 1960s anyway. I think it was sometime in the 60s it finished up, and it was dismantled and taken down, and that was kind of it. All the engines were sold off. Some of the engines went to Cavan and Leitrim Railway, to Mike Kennedy. Mike, how are you? I hope you can share this for me on your Facebook page. And some of the engines went from there, and eventually when the Cavan and Leitrim Railway closed down, which the Cavan and Leitrim Railway is still open, if you want to go and see a working narrow gauge railway, get your ass up there and check out the Cavan and Leitrim Railway. Then, of course, jumping ahead again, then the engines were exported to America and broken up and what wasn't there. And they went from there then to the mid-80s, when the engines were actually, one of the engines, T5, was brought back to Ireland by a man that actually lived and grew up here in Brunaville in the train station. I'm sorry, I forget your name, but he lived and grew up here in Brunaville in the train station. And it went on from there, and they restored the engine to an absolutely fantastic condition. Beautiful condition. Got it back working, and with the help of what was that time Anco, which has become FOSS, which has become now I think it's Solace, which is kind of a local employment scheme. They put this track in place. You can see some of it there behind me back along. We're walking along the track at the moment. It's now owned by Kerry County Council, but unfortunately, I suppose, economics and maybe funding, I don't know, did it become unpopular to be putting money into what is, I suppose, look, let's be honest, it's a pollution thing, it's a steam railway, but the economics of it brought people to the windmill. Like, there's records there on the windmill. I think it's something like 1,700 people on one day came to see this train. It's actually on YouTube. It's on YouTube now. But Michael Palin, if any of you watch Michael Palin, great railway journalist of the world, he actually came here in the kind of the late 80s, early 90s, and he made a video of it. That's there on YouTube of this bit they restored. I'm kind of jumping back and forth. But anyway, in around the mid 80s, they brought back T5 from America. They restored it. They put down roughly, I'd say, 3.5 kilometers of track from the Aquadome in Tralee to Brunaville Windmill. It ran for approximately, I would say, maybe 10-12 years, and then there was a problem with the boiler cracked, and when the boiler cracked, there was, I suppose, look, it was going to cost 100,000 to get it fixed. The money wasn't there, and unfortunately the train now has ran into very bad disrepair. As you can see there in some of the photographs and some of the videos, this is the train as it is in the state now, and you can see some of the track there. I done a bit of drone footage along So I suppose what I'd love to do is see the railway up and running again. My granduncle, he was Charlie O'Flaherty. He worked on the Dingle Railway as a guard. My great great grandfather worked on what did he do? He was some kind of a station master. We're not exactly too sure whether it was Camp or Derrymore or Brunaville or whatever it was, but he was a station master. I think his name was Edward. If anyone can help me out with that. He was Edward O'Flaherty. I think he was originally from just outside Tralee near Ballarrow, and he ended up a station master. What else can I tell you about it? I suppose the track was taken up in the 1960s. This was put down and went into disrepair. And I suppose another bit of history about the railway itself. I suppose that time we were under British rule, and it was what they called at the time. It was a group of Orangemen that wanted to run the railway to Dingle. I suppose British, what they call it, British businessmen, really and truthfully. And eventually they did run the railway to Dingle. And when they were running to Dingle, they came up with a massive Hey guys, this is a bit of an afterthought or an after thing, okay? I'm just going to show you here what I'm talking about. Turn the camera. Okay, this is the original Castle Gregory Road, running away back here, way back there into Castle Gregory and Brandon, and that's Brandon Point behind there. The original idea for the train, right, it was to come back, as we would call the low road, beyond camp, into where the old creamery is there on the left hand side, and it was to come up here then, up the middle of the valley floor. There's actually a road below here, inside the valley floor, all the way up, you can see it now in the sun, and they were supposed to, above around there someplace, they were to dig a tunnel through that hill. That hill was the major stopping point for getting a train into Dingle. Then that was going to prove too expensive. This was broad gauge now. We're not talking narrow gauge yet. This is broad gauge railway. This was proving much too expensive to tunnel through that. There's a tunnel way off west back there out towards Dingle. So what their next theory was, or their next option was, they were going to do a vernacular railway. Now for those of you that don't know what a vernacular railway is, they had the same plan, come up the valley floor, but maybe go up to around here, and then they were going to come back down to where we are and maybe go up again, and not have the vicious climb that they have. Like, it's a massive gradient. You can see there, freaking my finger on, that's where the old track is running along there, and out above here where you can see maybe you can see the car shining there in the middle, out above there, that's where the railway ran. And here where we are now this minute, on the bend in the road, this is actually, the railway ran along here. I'm not exactly too sure of my numbers, but the railway crossed the road, I'm just going to say 24 or 5 times between Tralee and Dingle. And there's people here, people have lived down the valley here, they said the train used to come down here, and the train used to actually get blown over in the wind. So they actually built a wall. You can see the wall up further from where they built a wall to protect the train from the wind. Alright guys, back to Brunaville. From what I understand, an narrow gauge railway will actually turn a lot faster, and you can do a lot sharper turns and all this kind of stuff. So they ran the narrow gauge railway from Tralee to Dingle. And like I said, it ran roughly from the 1880s right up until the 1960s. And as far as I know, this year, 2023, which that would make it 63, am I right? 53, so you can do your maths, but I think it's 70 years this year since the train actually, when last train left Tralee for Dingle, left Dingle for Tralee. There's some fantastic photographs, there's some fantastic footage there, and we're very lucky. There was a fellow there by the name, I think he was, I can't think of his first name, but he was Whitehouse. He took a black and white movie of the last train along the road. There's some great stories about it. Of course, the train that time, then one of the major problems was One of the major problems was when the train ran along the side of the road, and that time you thatched roofs on the houses, there was sparks off of the train. So when the train ran along the road, it created sparks, and it set fire to a number of thatched roofs in houses. So that became a problem, and they ended up in court and all this kind of stuff. And there was a company called the Tralee Dingle Railway Company, and it went on from there. And I suppose, look, it was, I don't know, was it ever successful to the point that they made money? But it was a massive asset, a massive benefit for the local people. And it was, like I said, it closed in the 1960s. They did also run a branch line just at camp. It was called Castle Gregory Junction. They ran a branch line from Castle Gregory Junction to Castle Gregory itself. There was also a turntable in Castle Gregory, and it was without doubt a success. Now I'm walking some of the track. I'm going to turn this is the track, unfortunately, what we're up against, and I don't think I'm going to go any further. Or will we? We'll try it. We're climbing through the bushes. Now at the moment, I know a number of people that are seriously campaigning to get this line back up and running. It would be absolutely fantastic. I would love to see this line up and running again. I know it'll cost millions. There is absolutely no doubt about that. It will cost millions. It'll probably cost a couple of $100,000 to get the engine up and running. It'll probably cost $1 million to relay the track and get the track done. And I understand it'll probably never make money. It'll probably never ever make money for Kerry County Council or for the people of whatever that are going to put money into it. But if the train was put back in action, I have no doubt it would draw people to the locality. It would draw tourism. It would draw all this kind of stuff to the locality. They'd come and they'd stay in hotels, they'd stay in B&Bs, they'd eat dinner in the local restaurants, they would spend money in the local shops, and it would be a knock-on effect. There's no doubt. I have no doubt about that would actually happen. But unfortunately, at the moment, whether it's a funding thing or what, Kerry County Council don't seem to have kind of the interest to get this back up and running or to get it going. It'll be brilliant. I know there was a couple of opportunities there where they could buy Board-na-Mona engines and Board-na-Mona wagons. I think that opportunity is still there as of August 2023. But I don't know how long more it's going to be there for. For those of you that don't know who Board-na-Mona are, Board-na-Mona was, I suppose, the Irish peat. It was a government-owned company where they used to harvest peat and sell it as peat briquettes throughout Ireland and this kind of stuff. But unfortunately, they closed down Board-na-Mona, and now I think we're importing most of our peat from Latvia. So yeah, makes sense to that. We've peatlands in Ireland, but we're bringing our peat in from Latvia, so that makes a tremendous amount of sense, doesn't it? But I'm walking the track here. Some of the sleepers are well beyond their sell-by date, as you can see yourself, but most of them are in good shape. Now, unfortunately, the engine is in very, 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 very poor condition. It needs, without doubt, a full overhaul, and I don't think we can go any further here on the track. We can't go any further, it's just gone. That's kind of it. The track did run, like I said, all the way in, went over here, out along here, up through there. We have it on drone footage, you can see there. It goes all the way in. to what the wetlands was in Tralee, if any of you ever visited the wetlands. And yeah, that's kind of it. It'd be absolutely fantastic to see it going again. I would really love to see this. I was on the train a few times I was on the train a few times in the 90s. I suppose we had cousins home from America, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. In fact, I had a couple of people contact me over the years, and they said, you know, the train in Brunaville, is it still running? Is it not? Unfortunately, it's not. No, I have made a few attempts before people leave comments and tell me, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? I have sent emails, and I have contacted local politicians and local councillors and local TDs and all this kind of stuff. Now, I will have to admit, most of them have gotten back to me. Most of them, not all, but most of them have gotten back to me, and they have said, I won't mention no names, but one or two of them have said to me that they have no interest in putting the train going because of the pollution and all that. But okay, here's my alternative to that. The train originally was never a coal-fired train. The train was originally have been an oil burner. It was originally an oil burner because apparently when they went to order the train, or whenever they ordered it from the UK, when they ordered it was going to take so long to get in a coal-fired power train. So what they done was they took the oil train, and when they got it here themselves, they converted it. Like I said, they had a big garage, a big yard above in Tralee where the bus station is now. That was actually the Dingle railway garage. The original yard and the original station was along there, the front of what is now Dunn Stores on North Circular Road. The railway station was actually Hogan's funeral home in North Circular Road, and believe it or not, that's the Hogan's funeral home is the station in Tralee. It ran out through where we are here now, and went back to Derrymore. There were stations all along the line. There was stations in Brunaville. There was a station in near, if anyone knows where the ESB garage, ESB depot is in Tralee, there's a station there. I'll turn on the camera now and we'll give a look down the track. There was a station there. There was a station in Brunaville. There was a Derrymore. There was several. Maeve, can you come back and let me go in front of you, please? You right? Okay, let's go again. There were several stations all along. We're fighting through bushes here now. There were several stations all along the way. There were stations in Derrymore. Oh, come on. All along the way, there were several different stations. Come on. Right, let's go again. There were several different stations all along the route back along. There was one, like I said, here in Brunaville. You can see the windmill there in front of us. I don't think there was any station in Curraheen. You know, there might have been, I'm not too sure. There was two stations in Derrymore. If anyone knows where Derrymore is, there was one station at Derrick School. You alright? Your hair is caught, right. There was one station at Derrick School, and there was another station just west of Derrick School, behind there near Derrymore, because they actually built a mill. The Donovans of Cork. You're stuck again. Yes, I did, but you didn't move. Come on, you're free now yourself. There was a station in Derrymore. There was actually two stations in Derrymore. There was one there near Derrick School, and there was another one slightly west of Derrymore Bridge. And the one west of Derrymore Bridge was put there in the 1880s for a mill. There was a mill built in Derrymore in very early 1803, we think. I done a video on it there. I put a link in the end if you want to watch that video. It's a video of the mill in Derrymore. And the train used to actually call and take products away from the mill. You bring in bring in, what do I call it, bring in grain. It was grain, and it was a water driven mill. So they'd bring in grain, the grain was crushed, and it was taken out again on the train. But then going away back into the 1880s, my sums are kind of a bit all over the place, but in the 1880s, the 1890s I think might have been, the mill was converted into a weaving mill. There was weaving machines put in, and at that point it was the train then brought in sheep's wool, and then eventually there was a problem with the wool. The wool was declining because the cotton industry in America was booming, and cotton was a cheaper product and it was easier to work on, and it was a cheaper finished product. So then they started growing flax. Flax is, well, that's what flax is. You have to grow flax, you have to soak it, and then you make a natural fibre. It makes a natural fibre, and the leftover out of flax is actually I think it's what they call linen. Is it linen? And they actually make rope out of the leftover. Flax is linen, yes. And then the leftover off of it is they make rope. It's hemp, I think. Is it hemp? I'm not too sure. Look, I'm not an expert in any of this, but that's kind of this is kind of it. That's my rant on the Tralee Brunaville Railway. Hopefully this is going to work out. I'm hoping to do this for a long time. I've been looking for access to see the train, and unfortunately I couldn't get it, but I'm after getting access now, as you can see, and yeah, so we just have to go from there. And hopefully as of August 2023, this is the condition of the track. The track is still there for anyone that wants to see it. It's just there, just outside Brunaville, running along. That's the windmill there, you can see it, and the track is still here. So hopefully someday, very very soon, Kerry County Council will be able to come up with the funding to put it back on track for all the world, and it would be a massive tourist draw for Ireland, for Tralee, for County Kerry. Like I said, I think going back in the 90s, when tourism was at its peak in the 90s, there was someone had the figures of 1,700 people a day visited the windmill in Brunaville and the railway track. So that's kind of it. Like I said, again, thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone for watching, and thanks to Mark, Rep Farms. Look him up, he's on YouTube. And Mark, thanks for the smart model tractor as well. Didn't bring that, I have it in the car actually, but I should have brought it, but look, that's okay. That's kind of it. I hope somebody sees this. I hope maybe Michael Kennedy might share it to his Facebook page, and I might get a few subscribers. So give a like, give a subscribe, and if you have something you think I should cover, leave a comment. Leave a comment what you think on this. Is it feasible to do it? I like I said, I know it'll probably never ever make money, because it's going to cost 2 or 3 million to get it back up and running, and with the way the countries at the moment, a housing crisis, I understand all that, I know all that, but we still have to have investment. We still have to have investment. Ireland is a tourism and farming country, and if we don't invest in tourism and if we don't invest in farming, we're going to have nothing. And this is this way now with over, I think it's roughly, I think this is the state this track was left in since 1997. Now I could be slightly wrong on my years, but I think 1997, 1998, this is the state it was left in since then. So yeah, give a like, give a subscribe, leave a comment what you think should be done. Should it be taken up? Should it be just forgotten about? Should the train be painted to make it look like a steam engine put into a glass box. I'm of the belief that it should be put back working, but leave a comment. Let me know what you think. All right, and thanks again to everyone who helped me out with this, getting me access and whatever. It took a bit of a struggle, but we got there. It's gone on with, I would say, about a year and a half now, trying to get in and get access here and get the whole lot going. So look, thank you. You know who you are, and I suppose give a like, give a subscribe, and share it. The more people that can see this, and the more people that can see, I suppose, the state it's in at the moment, who knows, they might do something about it. But 2023, I think it's around March or April gone of 2023, was the 70th anniversary of the last train to come out of Dingle. Alright guys, cheers, bye now, thank you very much.